West drives an hour every day from Ventura, where she found more affordable housing to keep her daycare going.
You're parenting their children, and the parents need support, the kids need support. You are their community.
One that she is privileged to be a part of every day.
So that new grant program that LA County launched is a $5 million relief fund that comes from the CARES Act, and it's going to be a lottery-based application system. So you submit your application, and about 225 centers will get some funding. Back to you.
It is imperative.
Whoa, she got the snaps for you all on this Wednesday.
It is. Child care, that's where it's at. That's how you get your economy back. That's how people go to work. Wonderful.
What resource?
When it's safe.
Renee, thank you.
Thank you, Renee. Okay, what can one teach us about the virus? What can one country that's had some kind of a pandemic teach us about how we deal with our own and how to get rid of it? Our Rick Adams joins us now in studio with a look into the science about Africa fighting polio and what we can learn from them, Rick.
Yes, indeed. The world is celebrating something that's good for a change, which is the end of the wild polio virus in Africa. The disease that in the past had paralysed over 350,000 children a year has been brought to its knees by, guess what? Vaccination. Quite an achievement if you think about the fact that the pandemic is raging around the world right now. And it's this expertise and network of health support that may just be the equal of the coronavirus in Africa. How? Well, luckily, I made this. Let's check it out. Let's get virtual. Contact tracing was the central element of this gargantuan and incredible eradication effort. The WHO's polio program with mobile phone apps for wild polio. And now they're being adapted to track and trace and battle COVID. But here's why they were so successful with polio: global solidarity. Wild polio has been all but defeated because important groups work together. The CDC, the WHO, the Rotary, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and UNICEF, to name a few, along with local partnerships and donors from countries around the world, including the scientific and research community, placing the emphasis on training healthcare workers, families, even kids to understand how they can help by creating a movement that mobilized massive numbers of volunteers to help get the word out. Testing. The eradication of wild polio happened because of being able to detect the virus, testing kids regularly, especially in areas that were a little more prone to outbreaks. It's because African countries have had to deal with far more than us, like yellow fever and Ebola, that they are in many ways better prepared to deal with the coronavirus. Finance. Completely eradicating polio globally still requires money to make it happen, and it's because of this investment that Africa is celebrating such a huge success. So funding is massively important for developing the tests and vaccines needed to beat the coronavirus on such a huge scale all around the world. Trust. The rise of misinformation and skepticism and truly ridiculous conspiracies where some even believe that our world is, well, not round, has flattened trust in science. But the truth and belief in the polio program was one of the main reasons that the battle against wild polio has been pretty much won. A win for science, vaccines, and public trust. But a nationalistic race where one country is first to the COVID vaccine prize is really not the best solution either. Creating the right vaccine, the best vaccine, properly tested and trusted globally that will save us, well, then yes. But like the unpacking of the Human DNA Genome Project, the world's largest collaborative biological project ever, all the nations of the world, rich or poor, need to join hearts and hands to understand that a disease in one country, no matter how small, is something we all need to help tackle and cure, or else all of our shared futures will be very bleak indeed.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Rick,
so it seems to me... Oh, go ahead, Mel. No, please.
How important is public trust in all of this?
This is massive.
Yeah.
If you think about it, really, a lot of people are starting to distrust science, the basic tenet of what our whole universe is built on. And, you know, 200,000 people almost at that mark now where people have died around the US. I mean, that's a huge number. And if you know one of those people, you know that this is real. This isn't something you can debate. And unfortunately, it's being kicked around with the political football. It's being used to some news channels even use it to spread all kinds
kinds of silly stuff about
public
facts.
trust, that misinformation is so damaging, and it comes down to the vaccination as well. You saw in Africa with polio, but here we need to have people buy into the vaccine. And right now, some of the studies show 40% of the population here in America does not want to get vaccinated until they know for sure.
It put Africa back 20 years because Nigeria had some distrust in the vaccine. So if we believe more in what science is telling us and learn more, obviously it's going to be a rough road, but if we do believe in it, we'll get somewhere faster, and we'll be able to beat this thing in a much quicker time.
Challenges abound, but if Africa can do it, we can do it.
Indeed.
Thank you, Rick, as always.
Our morning shot, everybody.
That's right. Our caffeinated.
As we head out to break, everybody, here is a look.